Here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Guru Parampara of the Vedaranyam and Panchanadikulam. In the year 2015, on the 13th of January, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindu pontiffs. In the same year, in July, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was also coronated as the present 23rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Dharma Mukti Swargapuram Adinam. On the 14th September 2015, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of Adipita Kolavamat. In the year 2017, on the 28th of June, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism became the reviver of Suryavamshi Chola Samrajya. Here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism giving the mass living enlightenment initiations all across the globe. Here we have glimpses of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting mass living enlightenment initiations in the year 2005, in the year 2010, and these are just glimpses of the various conventions and webinars, sessions, meditation programs which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted all across the globe in various parts, including North America, Canada, Europe, and as well. During the Kumbh Mela festival, one of the world's largest festivals celebrated, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiated thousands and thousands of people into the living enlightenment initiation to all those who came to Kumbh Mela and visited the camp of Kailasa. In both the Nasik Kumbh Mela in 2015 and the Ujjain Kumbh Mela in 2016. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the founder of United States of Kailasa. The purpose of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on planet Earth is to bring back the timeless Hindu Sanatana Dharma through the establishment of Sri Kailasa, a Hindu nation focused on safeguarding and reviving Hinduism, the world's oldest, peaceful and enduring representation of harmonious coexistence. Kailasa is the first nation for Hindus and is the macrocosmic, ancient Hindu enlightened civilizational nation, whose vision is living enlightenment for all of humanity. Kailasa's mission is to revive and share the practical applications of Hinduism's greater sciences, including Hindu cosmic physics, alchemy, cosmology, biology, mathematics, power manifestation, as revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. These sciences were once freely practiced in the 56 nations across the continent, but are now endangered due to the persecution which has been taking place for over a millennium. Here we can see the recognition of the United States of Kailasa at the United Nations Forum. Kailasa, the first nation of Hindus led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, spoke on behalf of the 2 billion global Hindu diaspora at the 14th session of the United Nations Forum on minority issues. A significant milestone in the history of Hindus and the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa happened on December 2nd, 2021. His Excellency Sri Nitya Moksha Priyananda, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Kailasa, represented the persecution of Hindus at the 14th session of the United Nations Forum on Minority Issues. The theme of the forum was conflict prevention and the protection of the human rights of minorities. This was the first time the plights of persecuted Hindu minorities was represented in the United Nations. The ongoing, systematic and generational attacks on Hindus, indigenous religions, traditions were highlighted as a part of this meeting. We are now looking at Sri Kailasa's Uniting Nations initiatives, where Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations has initiated 108 different projects, initiatives to support humanitarian services for an enlightened, peaceful, sustainable, equitable, resilient, and thriving world. One of the projects which we're going to be looking at is the No Hungry Home project offered by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for nutritious food and a hunger-free world. Over the past 27 years, Kailasa has served more than 1 billion meals. Kailasa has organized over 3 million monthly annadans for the past 27 years, serving up to 1 billion meals in total. Up to 10,000 meals are served for free on a daily basis, and this number goes up to 100,000 on festival days. These meals are served free to one and all without discrimination. And as you can see here in the photos, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself in serving and giving the Annadan to the thousands and thousands of disciples, devotees, followers, pilgrims who have come for the Annadan service. Next, we have offerings by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for education reform and development in the form of the Nithyananda Hindu University and the Nithyananda Gurukul. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism established Nithyananda Hindu University, which is the world's largest Hindu university with more than 20 million enrollments, 7,000 free courses, and 150 countries. The Nithyananda Gurukul was established and inaugurated of Hinduism on the 2nd of October 2006. It is for the revival of the ancient Adi Shaivite Guru-disciple education system, which is an authentic knowledge transmission system based on enlightenment. Here we can see the Nithyananda Jnanalaya project offered by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for the protection of Hindu scriptures. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism established the Nithyananda Hindu Jnanalaya project with over 1 million Hindu scriptures, 1 million palm leaf scriptures, and more than 20 million digital books. The other offerings by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for the protection of Hindu scriptures is the Hinduismpedia project. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has collected more than 15 terabyte of digital books, rare manuscripts from all the 19 Sarvanyapitams, ancient mutts, ashrams, and the collection includes more than 1 billion pages on Hinduism, 22,000 digital books, and more than 1,000 e-textbooks, and over 100,000 articles on various topics of Hinduism. Not only that, but the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself has authored more than 1,000 books in 3 different languages, which have been translated in over 50 other different languages, as well as published more than 10,000 articles and has given 10,000 hours of free discourses with a combined views of more than 1 billion, freely available for all on YouTube and other social media platforms. Here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is respected as the only commentator of the Prasthana Trayi, which are the Brahma Sutras, Bhagavad Gita, and the Upanishads of Hinduism. Next, we have Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations offering of global peace and religious harmony in the form of confluences for world peace. In the year 2009, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism organized a 1,000-kilometer month-long peace walk through 1,000 villages to promote unity, feeling connection, and oneness among people. Not only that, but every village which was visited as part of the peace walk, free medical health camps were conducted as part of the journey, as part of the conferences for world peace. Here we can see the women empowerment programs offered by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for feminine empowerment and gender equality. Kailasa's Yogini Sarvanyapitam aims to improve quality of life by promoting Vedic and Agamic life solutions for rural and indigenous women, addressing issues of gender stereotyping, violence, and unequal learning opportunities. Here, some of the other initiatives of women empowerment programs offered by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations is the Kailasa's Nithyananda Lakshmi, which is a microfinancing service, Kailasa's Women Foundation and Women Empowerment Self-Help Centers, launched in 108 places around the world since its initiation in 2009. We also have Kailasa's Ankita program, which is a service for financial literacy and establishments in various infrastructural and financial environments, as well as Kailasa's Ashraya program. Here we can see the COVID care protection and preventive care centers offered by Kailasa, Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for affordable and holistic health care. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, seeing the plight and the insecurity, the anxiety, and the fear the whole world was suffering during the COVID 19 pandemic, it was only the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism who provided a safe haven for everyone who was suffering and going through tough times during the worldwide pandemic. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism converted the facilities in his monasteries into a multi-layer quarantine facility open free to all people regardless in differences of age, gender, caste, creed, ethnicity, color, and social economic status. All facilities, including food, water, shelter, internet, and free medical service, was provided free for an indefinite amount of time to all who came and took refuge in the COVID care centers. More than 30 million citizens followed Kailasa's 28-day spiritual regimen in the year 2020. Next, we have the Nithyananda Yoga, offered by Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for yoga. The Nithyananda Kriyas are one of the first offerings the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave to all of humanity, which are 108 scientifically validated Kriyas, a combination of ancient yoga, meditation, and pranayama techniques. These are aimed to provide holistic health and wellness to individuals and have been validated through scientific research and studies and have been shown to heal multiple diseases and disorders. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also revived the ancient fields of Shivastamba Yoga and Kundalini Rajju Yoga. The Shivastamba Yoga and Kundalini Rajju Yoga are two forms revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism using postures, weight balancing techniques, and to align the body with the cosmic geometry and manifest superconscious powers. Not only that, but the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also received two Guinness World Records in the form of the largest Shivastamba Yoga, which is the pole yoga, and largest Kundalini Rajju Yoga, rope yoga classes, bringing worldwide recognition to these unique forms of yoga. Here we can see Kailasa's Ishanya project, which is one of the major and important projects of Kailasa. Kailasa's Ishanya project is the Cycling for Poverty Eradication and Sustainable Environments. Kailasa provides humanitarian assistance through the networks of ecosystems around the world. As an effort to provide the basic needs for all the 8 billion people on this planet, Kailasa, being the largest distributor of free food material, have also continued efforts in shipping out donated clothes and medical supplies and other resources limited in other countries across the globe. You can see here the last 27 years Kailasa has built a network of ethnicities and partnerships in 140 countries around the world, leveraging the networks to collect clothing, medical supplies, equipment, and food materials, and transporting and distributing it to countries and regions in need. All the transportation and distribution expenses were sponsored by Kailasa. Here we can see Kailasa's digital media initiatives, where a combined of over 1 billion lives have been enriched worldwide through Kailasa's digital media. Kailasa's digital media includes 11,514 digital media assets, 53 social media and web platforms in 108 languages and 120 regions across the globe. These platforms include Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, YouTube, Medium, Pinterest, and many, many more. Here we have Kailasa's Google project, which is a Hindu-centric online ecosystem aiming to cater to all the needs of Hindus around the world. This platform has been designed and built to address the needs of the entire worldwide Hindu community, established and started by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. In the further slides, you can also see glimpses of the Google project, various photos, and glimpses of the social media project. We have Google Click, Google Photos, and Google Qker. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also opened up Kailasa digitally to the whole world in the form of e-citizen. to become an e-citizen of Kailasa, where if Kailasa cannot come to you, if you cannot come to Kailasa, Kailasa will come to you. For all those to experience and have the benefit of Kailasa free of any charges. All the services of Kailasa is made available online, free of cost, by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for the whole world to experience Kailasa from wherever they are. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the establisher of more than 1,000 enlightenment ecosystems of Kailasa, as well as the founder and reviver of more than 100 Sarvijñapīఠams across the globe. Here we have the various torture and murder attempts by the state and non-state actors. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has faced intense legal persecution with over 100 false legal cases being filed against him. The persecution has also been carried out through various government mechanisms such as the media, the police, and judiciary, all of which are controlled by politicians. Furthermore, social media has been used to incite mob violence against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and against Kailasa. Over 70 assassination attempts and physical assaults have been made on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, both in India and abroad. Not only that, but the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also faced very other incidences such as 40 incidences of attacks on community members, destruction of monasteries and temples have also been reported, as well as more than 60 cases of attacks of molestation and rape of women and female monks. But despite all of this, despite all the illegal persecution faced by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism remains steadfast in his mission to establish Sri Kailasa, a Hindu nation dedicated to preserving and reviving Hinduism as the world's oldest, peaceful, and long-lasting model of harmony. Has also been recognized as one of the top 100 most spiritually influential people alive by Watkins' Mind, Body, Spirit magazine. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is a highly acclaimed and internationally recognized leader with numerous awards from various cities, from various educational institutions, from various universities, as well as from various record company keepers. Here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism receiving multiple awards from the Asia Book of Records, awarded the most number of hours of discourses by a single individual, has been awarded the most number of books authored by a single individual, and has also been awarded the maximum number of traditional asanas to be performed in 108 minutes, as well as other awards and recognitions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And so now with this, we're going to be entering into the next segment of today's program. While we have gone over the various establishments, the various contributions the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has given for the whole of humanity and has done for the revival of Hinduism, we're going to be covering another major important contribution by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to all of us, and that is the power manifestation science. The power manifestation science is one of the most powerful sciences which directly raises the superconscious energy of an individual. In this segment, we're going to be learning the scriptural references for the power manifestation science, as well as a live demonstration of the powers of third eye and the power of consciousness over matter. So please stay tuned. We're going to be having an exciting Bhava Samadhi Darshan, as well as a process to help you directly to complete with your mold manifestation patterns, with all the problems you have in your relationships, in love, and in wealth. So please stay tuned and get ready for an exciting event today. Also, please take the opportunity to give this wonderful experience to all the other people in your life, all the other people in your family and social circles. give this opportunity, allow them to experience this great and fantastic Bhava Darshan of Lord Venkateshwara by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So now, as we enter into the break, please take a few moments to share this exciting news and share this video with all of your friends and family. Stay tuned, we'll be back with you shortly. A more intelligently connected world leads to a brighter future. An enlightened humanity leads to a better world. During the Paramashivam program, we help people to discover their superhuman possibilities and help them to find and achieve the true purpose of their birth by giving them the techniques, practices, and methodologies from the Vedagamas, the original source scriptures of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the ancient original Vedas and Agamas in all its glory, in a user-friendly way for the modern mind. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is transforming human beings into divine beings, reviving, initiating, and replicating the 463 powers from the Agamas revealed by Paramashivam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is not just giving solutions for every problem man faces, but is making them irrelevant to their lives by transforming human beings into divine beings.
Listen. Any argument presented by your mind, body, your present reality to establish you are not Paramashiva. You are not omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Anything presented to prove you are not Paramashiva is illegitimate. Decide this. This is super determinism. Understand? Anything you declare as illegitimate will lose power over you, will die in few days, few minutes, maybe in few weeks, whatever few days it takes. It will not have power over you. Understand, this is the method for sudden enlightenment. This is the method for sudden enlightenment. It happens by the Shaktipada. Here Paramashiva is sitting to tell you all, you are Paramashiva, you are me, with Shaktipada and Shaktinipada.
The Dvitiya Vijnasa Krama is an extensive and thorough yoga sequence to prepare your body to receive the experience being given by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Through the yoga, which is aligned as per the source scriptures laid down by Paramashiva and the Agamas, you break all the impossibility in your body and in turn break the very cognition of impossibility. The program leads you to go beyond your human frame and limiting human ideas, which prevents you from living your highest possibility.
I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment.
Again I tell you, I am not here to prove I am God, I am here to prove you are God.
Don't wait to become divine. Register now at paramashivoham.org. Yes, Nithyananda, and welcome back to all the viewers watching us on our social media platforms and various other places to this wonderful and powerful session about manifesting the Shaktis of Paramashiva. This session, we're going to be having a beautiful um, guided understanding about how the Shaktis of Paramashiva manifest in our life. Now, let's enter into this beautiful journey to learn the deeper sciences of the science of power manifestation. So first, let's see the source of the powers, how these powers manifest.
So in the Vedagamas, the source scriptures of Hinduism, Bhagavan Paramashiva elaborates in detail that every human is hardwired to manifest the 463 Shaktis of Paramashiva. Manifesting Shaktis are described in a systematic method as a systematic method and science for humans to manifest the various possibilities and powers in their life. The Shaktis manifest from the fundamental cognition that you are Paramashiva and not the cognition that you are a human and you need to reach Paramashiva. So now let's see the difference between the Shaktis and the Siddhis. You might have heard various people who might be sitting in like the Himalayas, various sages, like various yogis who sit in the Himalayas who manifest powers like if they touch something it will change into a different color or those kind of things you might have seen various people doing. But those come from the penance which are the siddhis. Now here we have the Shaktis. These Shaktis manifest after the initiation of an enlightened master or an incarnation. The Shaktis always move us towards enlightenment because we are manifesting the Shaktis from the space of enlightenment. The Siddhis, on the other hand, manifest only after tapas of long years. Like if you have seen them, they would have told you that they have been doing it for 12 years. They took to manifest just a small siddhi of either making some smell happen in their hands or those kind of small siddhis, which is just a show and it doesn't help humanity at large. Then the other differences between the siddhis and the shaktis are the shaktis manifest always for the purpose of helping humanity because it happens from the space of Paramashiva. The siddhis, on the other hand, divert us from the path of enlightenment and they are not permanent. So now as we have understood the difference between the shaktis and the siddhis, let's see how these shaktis are validated. Here we have the pramanas, the four different validification processes, four different filters that the Shaktis have to go through before they are considered a Shakti. First we have the Shastra Pramana, which is the source scriptures of Sanatana Dharma, of Hinduism. These scriptures are like the Vedas, the Agamas, and the other Tantras and Upagamas, and the other Vedangas. All of these together are the source scriptures of Hinduism. Then we have the Apta Pramana, which is the experiences of various rishis, enlightened masters, incarnations, and other beings from the 14 lokas. How they have manifested this Shakti to show the humanity that these Shaktis are possible for you and you can also manifest. The various ways they have shown humanity this science. Then we have the Atma Pramana, which is the experiences of the Supreme Founder of Hinduism. Not only its experiences, but its validified experiences, in the sense, whenever he had an experience, he made sure that it is in alignment with the Shastra Pramana and the Apta Pramana and then shares it to us as his Atma Pramana. Then we have the Pratyaksha Pramana, which is the scientific study on the Shaktis, what science has understood from the manifestation of Shaktis. Now let's see the source of the script of the Shaktis. From where do these Shaktis manifest? And the answer is Paramashiva. The Shaktis manifest from the space of Paramashiva. When Paramashiva, who is the all-inclusive, ultimate divinity, he is self-effulgent, all-pervading, beyond time, beyond space, and he is the source of the manifest and the unmanifest. He manifests the 5 different actions through which these whole cosmos that we know, the whole of existence that we know is created because he became the existence. So it is from that space of oneness with Paramashiva these Shaktis manifest. Now let us see the ultimate truth about how Shaktis manifest through anyone. When a powerful cognition is mapped, is understood, is digested, is cognized by a human, by anyone, that manifests through them as powers and possibilities, which is the prajnana. Now let's see each of the pramanas, each of the four pramanas, and see the detailed description of each of the pramanas. So here we have the Shastra Pramana, which is from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, a scripture that was directly revealed by Paramashiva to Paramashiva Shakti, Parvati. Here we have the 34th verse of the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, where Paramashiva reveals about the signs of the third eye, how the Shakti of third eye manifests. So we'll be reading the Shastra Pramana now. कपालान्तर्मनोऽन्यस तिष्ठन्मीलितलोचनः क्रमेण मनसोधाढ्यात् लक्षयेत् लक्ष्यमुत्तमम्. The meaning of this verse is, by fixing the mind on the inner space within the crown center and sitting stably without any movement, having the eyes in succession to the third eye, one has the vision of the ultimate goal, Lakshyam, and has the sight beyond the physical eyes and is able to see any object or place, and that yogi is in oneness with Paramashiva. So here we can see the beautiful Shastra Pramana where Paramashiva reveals a detailed step-by-step procedure of how the Shakti of the third eye manifests. Now we'll see here how the initiation of a third eye has happened in the past and how the science of third eye has been found in Mahabharata. So if we see the story, it goes as Arjuna had asked Bhagavan Shri Krishna that Arjuna wanted to see the cosmic form, the Vishwarupa Darshana of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. And at that time, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, gives this initiation to Arjuna. So in the 11th chapter, we have the 8th verse where exactly this initiation Krishna says to Arjuna, "You cannot see my cosmic form with these physical eyes of yours. Therefore, I initiate you into the science of the third eye. Behold my cosmic form." So after this initiation, Arjuna is able to see the cosmic form of Bhagavan Shri Krishna and elaborately sings it in a beautiful meter, and that consists, the whole of that happens in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Now let's see the Atma Pramana of the Supreme Pandava of Hinduism. How the Supreme Pandava of Hinduism has experienced this power in his own life. Here we have the exact words which has been taken from the Supreme Pandava of Hinduism, where he explains his experience in his own words. He says, "My first experience, I was able to see everything above me, around me, below me, the whole 360 degrees in 10 directions. Not only I was able to see, but I realized I was able to feel and experience everything around me." So here we have the beautiful experience of the Supreme Lord of Hinduism, where he shares to us the signs of how he experienced this power. And not only that he shares it, we can also see that it is in tune with the Shastra Pramana. Now next let's see the Pratyaksha Pramana. The study on the Supreme Point of Hinduism directly reveals the existence of the third eye. So when the Supreme Point of Hinduism in 2004 had undergone a study, the positron emission, where the energy of the brain is measured, and when the monitor had shown to the scientists, they were shocked to see that in the middle of the frontal lobe of the brain, exactly where the third eye is depicted, on various pictures of Shiva. Exactly at that point, the supreme point of Hinduism's brain had lit up in a very significant way, and that has this same results has been replicated in all the balasans and yogis who have also manifested this Shakti. Here we see the validity of the signs of the third eye and the existence of the third eye. Now let's see about one of the powers that manifests from the space of the third eye, which is the power of the consciousness over matter. So this also has been taken from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, where Paramashiva reveals to Paramashiva Shakti about the science of consciousness over matter. Let's now read the Shastra Pramana. क्वचिद् वस्तुनि विन्यस्य शनैर्दृष्टिं निवर्तयेत् तज्ज्ञानं चित्तसहितं देवी शून्यालयो भवेत्. Beautifully, in this verse, Paramashiva says that by fixing the eyes on a particular object, one should slowly withdraw the sight as well as slowly eliminate the knowledge along with the thoughts and impressions of that object. Then, O Devi, one abides in Shunya, the state of all inclusivity and ultimate oneness. So here we can see how Paramashiva gives us a detailed step-by-step understanding about how the science of power manifestation